All right, everybody. Hope you're having a nice Saturday. It's about 12 p.m. Eastern here on Saturday, August 23rd, 2025. We'll get into the week ahead analysis now. So you have a couple days to prepare for Monday. Wow, what a day on Friday. Really had no idea we were going to see this kind of a huge day, but was expecting congestion entrance up. That's what we got after the Powell dovishness at Jackson Hole. So great call there. I made a little bit of money. I had a good day, but like I said, I'm not really putting the pedal to the metal anymore because I've had such a good month. So I'm just kind of getting base hits as we close out the month, enjoying life, enjoying August, and saving my energy for September, which I think is going to be fantastic, just like every other month. So yeah, nice to see VolPro Edge just nailing it to the wall there. I know many of you had a great day, which is fantastic. So what do we expect for next week? Well, look, there's the weekly. Tried to make congestion entrance down, failed. I really don't see how this isn't going to continue higher. Something like this as the weekly tries to extend out this flash and go after all these extensions up here. These will act like magnets right up in here at 65, 60 in my view. You can see that's also right where all these core DMLs are sitting on the monthly. So I really think that that's where we're headed and that the daily is in the process of trend reversal to the upside. Remember, trend down, congestion entrance leads straight to trend the opposite direction. That's called trend reversal with VolPro Edge. And guys, I'm just going to never stop beating this into the ground. If you're struggling with your trading, I know it's because you're not using VolPro Edge the way it needs to be used, which is use what I teach in the course, use what I teach in these videos every single day with the analysis, connect the types of trading, right? It's very logical and sequential. What I mean by sequential is that the types of trading flow from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And your job is to use the multiple time period analysis, the types of trading, the patterns to anticipate correctly the next step in the sequence, the sequential nature of the types of trading. You do that, and then you develop a trading plan to trade in the direction that we're calling based on identifying the types of trading and everything else. You're gonna make money. I know you got to be disciplined. You got to follow your trading plan, and it really just comes to how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to not have to work a normal job? How hungry are you to make whatever number it is you think you want to make every month and live free and travel and do stuff? You all can do it. It comes down to how hungry you are. That will determine whether or not you succeed. And just getting organized and focused and dialed in to using everything that I'm teaching you. You guys have it all right there. And there are a lot of people having really good, consistent success. And I can tell you they're the ones who have taken the time to go through the course many times, right? Ask a lot of questions, put together their own trading plan, send it to me, say, hey, Andy, what do you think about this? I help them. But then the key is not only do they do all that foundational work, they follow what they set up. That foundation that they're laying, they follow that plan with discipline. It doesn't mean they don't make mistakes. We all make mistakes, but you got to have these things in order if you're going to succeed. And if you're just chasing your tail and running around in circles and you're wondering why you're not having success and other people are, I guarantee you this is the reason. I've never gotten one email that somebody says, Andy, I studied my ass off. I know VolPro Edge like the back of my hand. I know all the types of trading, multiple time period analysis. I put it all together. I'm using the patterns. Here's my trading plan. I do this. I do this. I do this. I do this every single day, Andy. I follow it to the T. I screenshot, I journal, I review my trades, I think about them. Andy, I do all this and I'm not successful. I've never gotten that email because it's not possible. So I want to say all this, guys, to motivate the what out of you to go out and get what's yours. This is your destiny, right? VolPro Edge is going to have dozens of big traders down the line that we're going to write a book about, the VolPro Edge Young Guns. Those of you who came in, when I say young, it doesn't necessarily mean age. It means like the birth of VolPro Edge. You guys came in and just took it and went nuts. And I know we're going to have multi deca millionaires in VolPro Edge down the line because a lot of you are getting it. You're working hard and I want all of you to get it. So there's my spiel. I hope that helps. Spiel means play in German. I don't know why we say there's my spiel, but that just came to my mind. All right, so that's that. We're expecting trend reversal up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 2-bar push here because that was a monster move. I wouldn't be surprised to see this. You know, to be honest, I wouldn't even be surprised to see a gap and go something like this. Do not look to short, okay? That's key. Yeah, can things change? Sure. Powell can do something. Trump can send out a tweet today or tomorrow, and then whatever, we'll adjust. But the charts are telling us we're going higher. Okay, very, very important. NQ, I don't even need to cover it. Yeah, you held that extension on TradingView here. I get that. But look, you broke all these here. You've got a beautiful pocket. I mean, guys, look at all that support on the monthly we've been talking about. It's a beautiful situation. And look, there's a huge discrepancy now between ES and NQ. Look at ES. ES went all the way almost back to these highs. NQ is still down here. Who's wrong? I think NQ is going to catch up and push up here. I think ES is going to keep pushing too, but NQ looks like a pretty good catch up there. And look, if NQ was to gap open down tomorrow at the open, it'd be a gift. Be a gift. I doubt that'll happen. So that's what I'm looking at for NQ. Look at Dow, monster day. We did talk about this, guys, in the day ahead analysis. I mean, even if you can't follow a trading plan, just wait till I say, hey, this is a pretty good day ahead trade. If you want to, end of day ahead, if you want to put this on and maybe just let it go, and you guys can do that too. And sometimes, you're not going to get moves like this often, but sometimes you get a nice move. I didn't think the Dow was going to go way up here. I thought, maybe up here, but the pocket was there. The core DMLs were holding. We thought the daily congestion support level was going to be strong because of all that support there on the weekly and the support on the monthly. And then sure enough, off to the races we go. So very, very bullish. Russell, I mean, this is just silly. This move, massive move here. Just nailed. And we said, right, we talked about this. Go back and watch the video. Said, hey, don't short this congestion entrance up bar on the Russell because things look like they want to start pushing higher. And the Dow with that clear pocket pattern was tipping us off to our bias on ES, NQ, and the Russell, right? So this is how you use all this together, and it works beautifully when you really start to understand how to use it. And it's not going to happen overnight. I would say, in fact, it's not going to happen. You guys aren't going to really start to be fluent in VolPro Edge and just have, like, I just sit here. It doesn't matter. I can read this with my eyes closed almost, right? It's a language to me that I invented. I speak it, and it's just bang, 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 bang. If you want to get to that level, you've got to put the time in to get there, right? It's like Spanish. I suck at Spanish. I really do. Imagine if I went around every day. I'm just like, man, why do I suck so hard at learning Spanish? Oh, because I never study Spanish because it's just not a top priority, right? One day I'm sure it will be. And look, I can get by. I can have little conversations and things. But this is how VolPro Edge is. If you're like, gosh, why am I not succeeding? It's because you're not studying hard enough. Study more, right? How many of you guys watch TV shows and movies and all that kind of stuff? I mean, I'm going to tell you, I literally almost never, ever watch anything, ever. Like, I'm either working on trading or VolPro Edge or whatever else I'm doing. And if I'm not really focused on either trading, one of my many live accounts, real accounts, cash accounts, prop accounts, whatever. That's like the main trading I do. If I'm not doing that, then I'm doing some development on the algos. And then if I'm really not doing any of that, then I'm like out exercising, enjoying life, thinking about things. But I'm almost never do I just sit and waste time. So and I'm not saying, oh, look at me. I'm saying, look at yourselves. If any of you are doing that and you want the fruits, stop wasting time. And life is short. It's precious. We've got a gift here. I want all of you to kill it. Okay. I'm just fired up because I don't know. I'm just like, I'm just in such a happy place right now, and I want you guys to be there too. All right. So the bonds, I talked about this same situation here with the bonds, right? I said, look, here's the pocket. Boom. I said, look at all this support here. I said, I think daily congestion support level down here is going to be strong, and that we're probably going to push back up here because the daily, was cycling, just crushing it, guys, crushing it. So as we start to get into the algos, I mean, look, this is a beautiful end of day flash there. We talked about that. I mean, you can put these on and just let them go the whole day. This too, same thing. Yeah, you got to accept a wider stop, but look, if you let it go the whole day, you're going to get a larger gain sometimes. It's going to offset. It's a different type of trading. I don't really like doing that. But I know some of you, if you don't have the time to watch the charts, start paying attention to these end of day setups, right? And I'm going to miss some of these because I mean, I've been calling them out. So you guys, you got no excuses. You got them from me. But, I don't really take those types of trades. But if you feel that you want to set your trading plan around that and do it, then start doing your own analysis. Go through the markets, listen to my day ahead analysis, of course, but then go through all the markets yourself. See if you spot something I didn't see. Hey, Andy, what about this pocket here? Like, I really want to buy the bonds right now. What do you think about that? I'll be like, I think that's a good call right now. Yeah, if you want to buy the bonds, put your stop below the VolPro reaction support and just let it ride until the next daily close, or set a target way the heck up here. I'll give you guys that feedback. So I'm doing my best to lay it all out there for you and try and give you what you need, no matter what type of trader you are. But at the end of the day, ultimately, it's going to be up to each one of you individually. Here is just a massive reversal here on the euro. We talked about this weak dollar. I would expect to see some follow through. So now Maca, I think you're going to have a decent week with these currencies. This looks like it wants to go higher like this for the euro. I wouldn't be surprised putting in a flash like that. I would look for daily reversal here. You see trend reversal down, boom, straight up. I'd look for a continued push. Weak dollar. That's how I'd play it, Maca, for the currencies. Anybody else that's playing the currencies, okay? It's going to be the same as risk on the indices. Look at the pound, beautiful pocket on the weekly. You got the core DML underneath you. You're probably going to shoot up here to that extension. Just beautiful. You can see the daily's already confirming massive volume. When you get big volume on that congestion entrance bar, whether it's to the upside or the downside, that is when you want to look for that reversal typically, okay? Not always, but it's just another thing that can tip you off. Swiss franc CAD's going to be the same. The odd, there you go, boom. Same thing on the odd. They're all going to be correlated. Weak dollar, weak dollar, weak dollar. The yen, it's going to be a little bit more of a mess. So let's look at Bitcoin. Probably yeah, there you go. And we talked about this on Bitcoin, right? I mean, I think we said we're into all that support. We got a nice pocket there. It's going to be the same. They're all correlated. Look for reversal here at the upside on Bitcoin. Ethereum's going to be no different. Boom. I mean, we called this out, right? I mean, we really did. We said there's a pocket on Ethereum. We're into all this support here. I mean, I didn't know we'd see a day like this on any of these markets, but the call was good, and they all pretty much worked this time. And it's just lovely to see. All right, looking at gold. Yeah, monster day on gold. Even gold went up. Why? Because the liquidity spigots are opening, right? And this, we'll see. We may go higher into the rate cut in September, and then they cut rates and the market drops 20%. That happens a lot, guys. But right now, it's being priced in, okay? That's why sell the news is real, is because all the smart money already anticipated all that and rode it all the way up. And then when all the retail people here, when Kramer going, oh my God, the Fed just cut rates in September, they all go, oh, geez, I don't know, like I'm a school teacher in my regular life, but now that I watch CNN and Kramer and whatever, I'll just buy because the Fed cut rates. All that, I hate to call it dumb money because I don't like disparaging people, but it's called dumb money for a reason. People who don't know anything about trading rush in on that news. All the insiders have already anticipated it and held the whole way up. They need that liquidity to dump and get out of their positions and lock in their profits. Who are the bag holders? You guys know. So, but I see us heading up into that rate cut in September, okay? So that's important. So gold probably headed back up here, I would guess. I mean, it's going to be a little trickier for gold because it's, when it's risk on, gold is going to be caught between the cross currents of people want to sell their gold, right? And they want to buy, high returning stocks, right? Things like that. So, but at the same time, the liquidity gates are opening. So gold's going to kind of benefit from that as an inflation hedge, of course. So I look for gold, I don't know if I don't think that this is going to happen on gold the way I think it's going to happen on Bitcoin and the indices, to start the week. I think gold, I wouldn't short this, but I think there's a risk it could go down like that and then do something like that. And then, maybe then that's a buy, go up like that. We'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and it'll go like that. Point is, I wouldn't take a trade here on gold. I'd let it settle because you have a flash short pattern on the daily, But see, you don't look at that and go, oh, should I take it? No, no, no. Look where you are on the weekly. The weekly cycling from envelope top to bottom to top to bottom. We're coming out of that recent test of the envelope bottom on the weekly. We're probably headed back toward the envelope top, all those DMLs up there. So that's why you don't want to take a short, even though that's by itself, it's a good short pattern on gold, but you don't want to take that because it doesn't line up with the multiple time period analysis, right? It's not in the direction of the higher time period. Let's look at silver. Monster day on silver. You're probably going to see some follow through, I would guess here. It looks like silver wants to keep pushing higher. That's a nice lightning flash. Would I short that? No. Might it go down? Maybe. I would just use, if it knocks down and we get a buy pattern one day this week, that'd be a good buy on silver. So right now I would just leave silver alone. I don't think many of you trade silver. Copper, still a mess after that huge disaster there. I don't even want to talk about copper. Platinum, it's kind of ranging around here. We've already had such a big move higher on platinum. It's a little hard to read right here. There were some really good pockets all the way up on this trend run on the monthly. We talked about that, for the last few months. Now it's just kind of messy and consolidating up here, so I'm not spending much time on it. Crude oil. We haven't talked much about crude, but that's also because it did one of these crazy Trump moves, tariff, whatever, just like copper. I'm like, I'm not going to mess with the markets. It's doing this right now. There's no point. So the monthly's not clear on crude. The weekly's not clear on crude. Nothing's clear on crude. So I would just leave it. Nat gas is kind of similar. We're pushing lower here. Is the monthly exiting congestion down? I don't know. We'll look at the yearly and the quarterly charts at the end of this month when we set up for September, and we'll go into detail on what we think all these other markets are doing, including the indices with regard to the longer term charts, the yearly, the quarterly, all that. And we'll cover grains probably at the end of the month. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. I love you all. I want you all to succeed. That's where my passion comes from. And, let's do it together. Let's go VolPro Edge. Have a great weekend. And I will be back with you guys pre-market on Monday morning.